That's it. Something is working.
Cool.
Yeah, we're recording. Ha! Obi-Wan fucking Cunningham. How are you doing, dude?
I'm good.
Fiachra, my good friend. Your name is going to confuse a lot of people, actually. How to pronounce it and spell it. It's Fiachra. What does that mean, actually? Does it mean anything in Irish?
Yeah, it's an old Irish name, Fiachra.
Yeah.
It means Ravenhead. So I think it's like an American Indian kind of ism, but
Really?
for Irish. Yeah, so it goes back to like the Celtic times or something like that. Probably pre-Celtic even.
Fuck, do you know what? How long do I know you? Like, I never actually asked you that. Like, what your name means.
I thought you knew that and you were setting up the question.
I don't know. We know each other, what, 15 years now? Probably more.
Oh, more. Yeah, more. Sure, we went surfing when we were in our 20s, like 21, weren't we? 22 anyway.
Yeah, we started going surfing. So folks on the channel who don't know Fiachra Cunningham here, you're one of my two best friends, essentially. It's the best way to describe it. Yeah. I'm not going to rank you guys, but yeah.
No,
we met through music early days in Dublin. I think we met at a session, music session, and we sort of hit it off like right away. I think you invited me to play to one of your sessions, something like that, like the next week or something like that. Yeah, and it was.
We went back to your place and had a camembert and 2 bottles of wine or something. And
probably, yeah.
Played retro games. I forget what it was now. ER Kung Fu, was it?
Yeah, actually, that was yeah. I introduced you to the joys of emulation. We were playing main. Yeah. There was international karate. We actually spent hours playing that. Remember that?
Yeah.
But you're also, well, essentially now for a good few years, a full-time musician.
Yeah.
You've been doing. How long have you been doing full-time? Like, you did it on and off, but like you've been at it now for quite a few years. Yeah,
I think if I was to be 100% accurate, and maybe a little bit smart, RC, I'd say since I was 4. Because I kind of grew up with my parents and they were musicians, and I had a little puppet show on the side of their busking act, which I was put out of business very quickly because I was earning all the money and I had to buy the lads food every night, and it wasn't going down well. They got nothing and I got everything in my pot. But professionally, I suppose since I was 18, since I left school. Even before, like, I was always doing pub gigs in town in Carrick when I was growing up to make a few bob, you know.
Like, I've always known you gigging anyway, but you did a few jobs in between, sort of to pay the bills. But that was always your goal, like, to go full time.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can't make a frog go and do computer science, can you?
That's what you need to do. Yeah.
It does its thing.
Like, I often, like, I evolve nowadays, like, in the YouTube world. I talk to a lot of other musicians, and a lot of people who are much younger than me, and their goal is to become a full-time musician, or for a lot of them anyway. We're talking young people in their, late teens or early 20s and that kind of stuff. And every time, like, sometimes people ask me for advice. First, I've tried to be a full-time musician. That didn't work for me because it's just not who I am. But I kept telling people it's hard fucking life. Like, it's hard work, and it's a lot more work than people, I think, realize. Not just musically, but as a business person, you need to be that side of things as well.
Yeah, there's a lot in it. And you got to trust. You got to work hard, and there's definitely no giving up. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you find?
And you have to make sacrifices and stuff, and even, how would you put it, like artistic. You have to bend a little bit, you can't be inflexible.
Yeah, because you've done music like that in a number of outfits, like on your own, in a band, in a duet, or you've done a lot of setups, like
whatever pays the bills, man. That's
is that really it?
Yeah.
How do you reconcile what you love doing or the music you love doing with having to pay the bill?
Yeah, but I do love it. I mean, irrespective of how I go about doing it, I've always loved it. I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't love it this long. But yeah, the bills got to be paid, don't they?
And you played with a band called Rackhouse Pilfer. Now for a few years, you guys have stopped playing together.
Yeah. we're off the road at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, for a while. Is it a year now you've been you disbanded?
Yeah, coming up to say September. We disbanded back in September.
Nice T-shirt. Yeah.
Where am I going? Here.
Yeah. That's really. Is that an LP or?
Yeah.
Ah, that is so cool.
Like, I'm getting this so bad because I'm looking inversely.
Look at that.
Yeah. Pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, do check out actually, folks. We'll leave the link.
Yeah. Rackhousepilfer.com.
Yeah, we'll leave all the.
You can buy all that stuff. There's CDs and T-shirts and all sorts of merch, and there's about 3 albums up there as well.
Oh, you're plugging your shit already, like.
Oh yeah, go for it.
But yeah, that was actually going well. Like that you were touring internationally as well for ages.
Yeah, it kind of scared the shit out of me. It was going so well, that way it was, but it was going really well. Yeah.
Yeah, you were flat out booked.
Yeah, we were away for months on end.
How was it like being? What is it like being in a busy band?
In a busy band, it's good fun. But in between it, there's a lot of fun in the bus traveling around. But then there's a lot of like quietness as well, and people reading books and listening to tunes on their headsets and snoozing, and I don't know. It's a bit of a party, and it's a bit of a.
Because when you're a teenager and you're listening to your favorite band, or you're here, they're touring and all that, you want to imagine that they're all best buddies and.
Yeah,
all hanging out and all that. Is it that, or is it just
absolutely? But like with 6 lads in a van, there's going to be a bit of who fucking farted, you smelly, whatever. There's going to be a bit of that.
Listen, I've been on holidays with you. I wouldn't want to do it again.
Tenerife.
But yeah, so you did that. You lived in Tenerife as well for how many years now? 5 years?
I think 4 years. Yeah.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were playing music there. It was bar stuff essentially. You were doing bar gigs.
Doing tourist entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like troubadour kind of stuff, doing the Irish songs and bit of pop songs as well.
Backing tracks and singing and.
Yeah. Hey, let's not talk about the backing tracks. Don't ruin the mystery.
The mystery. You had your mini disc set up on your.
I'm suspending disbelief here,
But a lot of people are actually at me to go to gaming conventions and do something like that. Like a lot of musicians would do live gigs, and so the option for me would be to bring a lead instrument, the banjo and mandolin, and then play to a backing track that I've pre-arranged before. Like
do a gig of
that's
your thing.
That's what a lot of YouTube musicians do, especially like in video game music. You do lots of, because I can't do what I do live. I need some form.
So you do it online.
So yeah, I do it online, but a lot of people have asked me, would I be interested in going to conventions and do live gigs, which would essentially involve having a backing track, and then I play over it, the lead, but.
And an air machine.
Yeah, and smoke machine. Then, but I remember seeing you doing it in Tenerife, and we were there with our friend Larry. Larry and I were always impressed that we were like, we wouldn't be able to do it. It takes an entertainer really, which none of us were. But you're quite natural at it. Like
there's a fearlessness in it.
Yeah. You like interaction with people, you like talking, like you're just like that naturally,
Yeah, it was, well, the way we did it in Tenerife was very much like a comedy show, as well as it was chit chat and interaction with the audience, and I was just trying to, I don't know, be a bit silly and a bit whatever, witty any chance we got the opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's a special talent. People don't realize that even if you're a musician, like not everybody likes playing live. I hated playing live. I really liked
No way.
Yeah,
you're so good at it, man.
I know. I sessions I didn't mind because you can hide behind everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, like it just.
Nobody really focuses on anything in a session. It's just all happening. Yeah.
And by sessions I mean like traditional Irish music sessions.
Of course, yeah.
For folks here, but it's just like you get a few people to play live. Unmiked, but and then whoever wants to join, and it's all traditional tunes, so everybody knows the tunes, and sometimes you get 20 musicians into a session. Like it's not unheard of.
Hey, I know what a session is, Ollie.
Yeah. You fuck. Yeah. So that setting, like, I never did mind, because you can hide behind your instrument, behind everybody else. You're not on a stage either. Like, you're around a table or a few tables. But honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate it. I remember going to Lorient a few times as part of the band, and
That big Celtic festival out there, yeah.
and then it's not that it wouldn't affect my playing, but I realize now how much I did not like playing live. But some people thrive on it. Like, I know you love it.
Yeah. I've come across some stuff on YouTube of you and Lorian, actually. There's one for your fans.
I deleted most of it, yeah.
I found it.
But yeah, it's like, you love it. Why?
I love it.
Yeah. Why?
I do. Again, it's just it comes back to who I am, and what I guess what makes me happy all my life. I've always been into music. It just relaxes you, doesn't it? It's like surfing. It's being in the zone at something and doing it right. Doesn't matter how, like, if you've got a cold or if you're in good form, bad form, you can go and do a gig and you just kind of zone out of all the world for those 2 hours, and focus on the thing that you're doing, be it playing a fiddle or a mandolin or banjo or whatever, Same with surfing or anything, riding a motorbike. You're following the lines and your head isn't thinking about anything else, is it?
Yeah. No, I get that when you're playing. It's just all the leading up to it. It's like when I did judo competitions. And I just you stress and you freak out before, and once the fight starts, that's what you've been doing all your life, so you're fine, And same with surfing.
Yeah.
Once you're in the water, you're okay. It's just the anticipation of how big is it gonna get? Am I gonna get my ass kicked? And
I know what you mean. I guess in that respect, it's just repetition, man. I've just done it so many times that these days the way I see it is like. Last summer I went out and played in front of 9,000 people in the Belfast SSE Arena, and in my head I was just thinking, this is just another gig.
Yeah, well, technically there's no difference.
No.
Like playing in front of 9,000 than there is to 3 people. It's just.
I'm sure there's a bit more butterflies in the stomach in that gig, and a bit more, but that's good. The excitement is part of the fun, isn't it? The thrill. Right. So I guess it must be a little bit of an endorphin hit, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, probably. It's funny because I was able to get over that for a lot of stuff, but music was still the one that I couldn't get over. And even when I was just doing small gigs, even in Dublin, like I just didn't like being on the spotlight. And it's funny saying that now with YouTube and however 30,000 subscribers on the channel, and people waiting for you.
Who's counting?
Yeah, I am. But yeah, it's funny. Like, but at least it's not. I don't know. It's not live. I can hide behind the camera, and it's just in my.
Yeah, but you're in your zone, aren't you? This is your groove.
I think that's it. Yeah, it's really on my terms, and
so
I'm in my groove.
Stress, pressure, anxiety doesn't come into it because you're just in your groove, aren't you?
Yeah, but you were born into live music setting, though.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
your parents were musicians.
Yeah, I think both my dad plays accordion, piano, and guitar and sings, and my mother would be the main singer in the family. She's the real rock star, as you well know.
In many ways, she truly is a rock star.
Drink us all under the table. But yeah, I think she asked me when I was about 3 if I wanted to play music, and I don't remember this, but she tells me, I said, look, if I don't, I'll be the odd one out. Because all my parents' friends, anyone that passed through my life, anyone that I had contact with was a musician, or into music, or.
And were her folks musicians as well, or?
No, my granddad, her father would have been he was big into parties. He'd be an old-fashioned guy, and he loved everyone coming back to the house after the pub and singing songs and telling stories. And he'd had these funny stories he'd tell. Like he'd get in a session, he'd get an old man, and he'd have his funny songs or his funny stories. My granddad had his repertoire of songs he'd do and tales he'd do, and he'd tell poetry, and he'd invite everyone around the group to do their thing,
Nice.
Kind of pre-television, I guess, entertainment, isn't it?
You don't need telly when you're a musician in Ireland. Like, it's just the entertainment and like that. I remember going to how many house parties after the session or after the pub.
Yeah.
I just playing music all night or hearing stories or even just sitting. Sometimes you just don't want to play. You just want to take everything that's happening. You know, like I find more and more actually that's what I'm doing. I rarely play live in sessions anymore. I'm just happy to be a listener, like, or an active participant in the night in other ways, you know. But it just, even I play less and less in sessions these days as well. It's just nice to just take back and listen to everybody and enjoy the session and the stories or the songs, like, yeah.
Do you ever go out to Bell Harbour these days? Remember we used to go to sessions there?
We were there not long ago, probably, I don't know, probably a month ago or something like that. There was because the guys, Bell Harbour is a place where I used to live, folks, and it was sort of a thatched cottages, you know, arranged in a semicircle, but it was a nice sort of community there. It was just lovely, and there was a pub right beside it, so where we used to go and play music. And recently they've been evicted of that area. So they had a big...
Have they?
Yeah, it just, the place was derelict, really, and then there was a fire, and it was just...
was this the houses, was it?
Yeah, it's a...
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then
not the pub, yeah.
The actual owner ended up owing money to the bank, so that was repossessed, and the people who lived there were essentially evicted. But it's fine, they all have places. But we ended up having a last kind of bash party, like at the pub, and then back to the houses, and it was just fantastic. Like it was a good setting.
End of an era, I guess.
It really was, actually. It really was. 'Cause these houses were the last sort of proper sessions in the areas, you know, or impromptu, because it was full of artists, like everybody there.
Yeah, I remember that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of giving one of your neighbours, instead of giving a birthday card to his 8-year-old kid, just got paint. He was an artist, I guess, was he?
Okay,
and he just got painted the entire front of the house. Happy birthday, Julta.
Yeah, it was that kind of stuff. Yeah, kind of mad. Jim, I did a collaboration with Jim. If folks want to check it out, it's on the channel. It was the Land Down Under song, Men at Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a song with him. Uncanny.
I do beatboxing as well on the side, yeah.
But he's a character, Jim. He's quite a character. He's a fine artist and fine singer and fine musician. But so you were born. Both your parents were musicians, and they were touring musicians as well. Like they toured. What? Yeah,
I was literally born in Amsterdam, kind of direction. Leiden was a wee place outside Amsterdam, and my parents had a van, like a tour van, and it was a Peugeot kind of thing, and it was kitted up with beds, and the PA would go in there, and we'd travel around in the summer months around Europe, and I'd wake up, like my mother would always insist on parking next to a beach if there was something, or a lake to go swimming, so I'd wake up and we'd go swimming in the morning. It was lovely, yeah.
Do you actually actively remember it, like how you...
Yes and no. I mean, you know when you...
Yeah.
You know when your photographs in albums kind of memory, but I do have memories of it, but a lot of it probably is related to photos I have it, you know,
and reassembled stuff from things that your parents told you, and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like that with my my parents were still together, and we'd go like sailing around Brittany, which I ended up doing after with my dad. But when my parents were still together, I have some memories, but it's like still pictures, and I reconstructed from stories I'd heard and all that. So I have memories of my parents still together on the boat, doing stuff and visiting and sailing. But I don't think I actually remember them. You know what I mean? Like it's all it's reconstructed memories for.
It's like weird. A dream, nearly, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird the way it works. Like, and I know I was there because I was told.
Yeah. I'm sure the amount of red wine we've consumed in our lifetimes as well hasn't helped with the old memories.
Probably. I'm having white wine right now.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
I thought I'd go for a tea.
Yeah, I have a tea.
Here it is.
But that's so cool though. I mean, I knew that as well, but it's pretty cool to be able to say, like, I was born in a camper van in Holland while my parents were touring.
It's pretty specific, yeah. It's pretty specific. There's not many people can get away with that.
No, I was just born in shitty hospital in North France. Like.
Well, I was born in a shitty hospital as well, but yeah, wasn't actually born in the camper van. No.
So are you Dutch as well then, or?
No, I'm not, because the law there was funny at the time. You took your father's nationality, I think, was the law.
And how long did you stay touring, or how long were you in the hospital?
I was there till I was 5. I was in school and all. I was in like Clouter school, like a kindergarten, preschool kind of thing. Yeah, and I was fluent in Dutch apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
And I literally came back to Ireland and lost it within, I don't know, 6 months. Didn't speak Dutch, and then it was just gone.
Did you ever try to learn Dutch again?
No, my mother always thought I could do German. She always said, they're the same language. And she put me in German class, yeah. And she'd actually announced to the headmaster in the school, and every teacher, she'd come in and I need to have a meeting with you. Look, my son used to be fluent in Dutch when he was 5. Okay, fluent.
Can you do Russian?
Proud mother, yeah. Put him into German class, he'll excel. I was rubbish at it.
Of course.
I had no capacity for learning that language at all. I wish I did, because I have a good German buddy, and it's a shame I can't converse with him. Yeah.
You've friends from all nationalities.
Yeah. But you know, it's a shame when you don't. You're always speaking English, and you're always relying on them to learn your language. It's a little bit arrogant, isn't it, of the English-speaking world?
Is that where it comes from? Every time you see a French person, you tell me I should go and talk to them because they're French.
Yeah. Look, there's French people, Ollie, in the supermarket. Look, voulez-vous?
Yeah.
Voulez-vous le fromage? They said. I heard that.
Wow. Yeah, every time you see a French person, you tell me I should go talk to them.
You really should.
Yeah,
you really should.
But I think it's probably because you're frustrated because you can't talk.
I wish I could talk to them. Yeah,
you talk to anyone anyway. Like if there's
me and Emma travelled through France recently. Emma's my wife, and we were travelling. I say recently, 10 years ago. We were coming back from Tenerife actually, and we bought a car in Sweden to get our dogs back to. It's a long story. That's the short story. Is we flew to Sweden and we bought a car. So we're passing through France, right, and all the way through Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Belgium. I said to Emma, look, this is your language base, Scandinavian. She's from Sweden, so I said you can speak stuff here. Right? You do the directions. This is like Google Maps, you know. You can talk to the natives. We get to France, that's my territory, okay? I'll be able to do the talking. So we arrive in France, and I hop out of the car and say, look, there's a nice French dude over there. I'll go over and ask them where the nearest park is so the dogs can go for a wee, you know? So I realized by the time I got up to him, I didn't know what the word for park was. I had mistaken the word for dog with horse, chevaux, I think I was saying, or cheval.
Yeah.
Cheval's hair, is it? I think, yeah. Cheval, I was saying chien, cheval. And then I didn't know what the word for pea was, so I was cocking my leg on the tree, trying to show him what I meant. Yeah, Emma reckons my French anyway is just basically charades. I'm doing like eagle movements and stuff.
I can't even see it. I've actually seen it. You do stuff like that, yeah. To my own brother, I think.
Yeah. But, he's got a dirty habit with his cigarette smoking in.
We could do this all day, actually get distracted, but a full-time musician, so but no, I was going to ask you actually, because it is a hard life.
Is it?
Well, you tell me, but I've met a lot of full-time musicians in my days, and it is, I mean, I can't do it.
No, you go through hard times, definitely, yeah.
But even when it goes well, you're away.
Yeah.
You live at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're driving. Yeah, no, you're right. And then, like, I might work 3-4 days a week, nights a week, which is a lot of people look at me and goes, that, you know, he only works 8 hours a week or something, but I might have to drive 10 hours there and back from the gig, you know, 5 hours there and 5 hours back. So. And
those 3 nights fuck you for the rest of the week as well. Like.
They do. Can you say that word? Yeah.
What week?
On podcast.
You can say whatever.
You're shocking me here. Good Lord, Ollie. What happened to your vocabulary?
Doesn't matter if it gets flagged, it gets flagged. I don't care. But it's it just it fucks you up for the rest of the week. Like
It does. No, it does. It fucks you up for at least a day and a half, maybe 2 days after. Yeah, depending on how far you went and how long. If you got home at 6:30 in the morning, 2 or 3 days in a row, and then at the moment I have a 3-year-old, so Emma's working full time. So most days it just so happens that I have to get up with him after getting home at 6:30, at like bloody 8:30 or something, which is fun.
Yeah,
I love that.
you need the
2 hours sleep.
obviously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and you also need Ninjago episodes to put on stream to put on stream for him, or Avengers. He's into Avengers now, and I can get the duvet and the pillow. And
you haven't converted him to Rick and Morty yet.
No, I think that's a bit beyond him right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he's three, Ollie.
I know, but it's you.
No, we're going in stages. I've got him off of Teletubbies and Peppa Pig, thank God.
Yeah.
And I've got him onto Avengers, Lego Man. Who'd have thunk it? There's so much Lego movies out there, animated stuff.
Yeah, so I heard. Larry tells me as well. He watches it.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good stuff.
So what about now? Who are you playing with? What are you doing?
I am with a country band at the moment, Lisa McHugh's band. So I'm doing session fiddler for her. I'm one of the main staple musicians in her band. So there's 5 of us, and then Lisa.
Yeah.
And she's the a solo artist, country singer. She does kind of American country, bits of bluegrass, and Irish country as well.
What's her name?
Lisa McHugh.
Why do I know that name? Anyway,
You'd probably know her, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Facebook or. But yeah, so you've been with them then pretty much since you stopped Rack House.
Yeah, so yeah, I got an opportunity there and I just went for it. Yeah.
And was that just pure chance, or had you like stuff?
It was, yeah, and it kind of just happened. Rack House started. We started having meetings about unwinding it in about, I think it was June this time last year, and then I found out literally within a week or two there was an opportunity with her. So I probably wouldn't have gone and done that, but since we were having meetings about unraveling the band anyway, I kind of went for it. Yeah.
Interesting. So you guys had talked about, like, it wasn't like overnight decision, but
no, it wasn't, and we'd given it 5 solid years traveling, and all of us had young kids. It just became really hard being away for 6 weeks at a time, you know. Now, one of the lads wanted to go back to college, and he wanted to re-skill so he could get a day job or whatever and be an engineer. So just, if we were all in our 20s, it'd be easier. We were all, I think we started when we were 20 or 33 or something, 32, and then took you up to 40 nearly, and it just felt like if it hadn't happened by then, who are we kidding?
Yeah, is that it? Like, was it? Are you chasing a wild chase, or was it more? We've done it. We've done that bit, and let's move on to something.
We did a lot. We played in Glastonbury. Like we're an original band, so the gigs we were doing were quite specific. They had to be, theatre gigs, or it was hard to put on a. We put on a show as well, and we played festivals and we played pub gigs as well. But we were channeling ourselves more down the vein of playing original music to, I guess, a sit-down audience that wants to hear your songs and listen to your feelings and stuff.
Well, thank you folks for watching. That's it. What
was I on about? I don't even know what I was talking about now.
Yeah, it's because you started playing. You had a residency in a pub in Sligo, but there's only so many of these gigs you can do until are you covering your costs, or even just getting there?
Yeah, no, we actually did okay. We set up a partnership business out of it, as opposed to setting up a company. We set up a partnership of 6 self-employed people, I suppose, and we did our accounts together. But we actually did really well. It just got to the stage where to keep doing as well as we're doing and to progress from there, we had to be away from home longer and longer and longer.
Of course, yes.
We need to be making more headway abroad to make headway at home, because the way Ireland works, nobody really gets noticed until they get noticed somewhere else.
Well, yeah, that's
You know, like U2 or the Cranberries, they all got discovered in America. You know,
everybody. Yeah, and it's just it's hard to tour exclusively in Ireland anyway, especially when you're if you
yeah. Well,
bring it to
that's
an extra,
it. You end up doing the same
yeah.
gigs all the time, yeah, and the same covering their tracks and go around in circles. Yeah, it's only a small island, really. Yeah,
it is like it just the audience isn't quite there for making it big, you know, or like you do have to go to England and then you have to go to Europe. Like there's no way around it.
Yeah. So with all of us having kids into the age of 3 and stuff, it just, you know, you'd be Skyping your kid at home and it's just not right, you know.
It's crazy because probably young folks here just tearing their hair, for those who have just going, oh my, I'd love to do that and all that. It's just life changes when you start having kids, or when you're getting into your 40s and or near your 40s, and now the idea of being stuck in a bus with 6 other lads for 3 months.
That's it. Traveling over the Alps, being given beer everywhere you arrive because you're Irish, simply because you're Irish. Hey, have some beer.
That sounds horrible.
It is absolutely awful.
But no,
I won't lie to you, Ollie. I won't lie to you.
I get it. You know what? Fiona still has your CD in the car.
Lovely.
Yeah, she actually. It's funny because when she heard you disbanded, she actually couldn't listen to the CD for a while.
Oh, no way.
Like, oh no, they're not together. They won't be more. Because I don't know. You know, listen to some CD and you're going, there's always the hope that somebody, they'll do another one just like that.
Yeah.
And she went through a phase she couldn't listen to it. She was just getting too upset. And then now she has it back on. I heard it the other day.
Cool. Which one? The beige one, is it?
With your song Angela and Fallen Leaves.
Love and Havoc. Yeah. Cool.
We just have the one, sorry.
I'll have to get you another one, though. I'll have to get you another one.
Hey, what happened with your own CD, your solo venture? Because, okay, folks, that's twice. But for folks to understand exactly who you are, you're probably one of the. There's many reasons I started doing what I do, but one of the reasons I started experimenting with a lot of traditional instruments, doing stuff that they are not supposed to do, is in a great part because you sort of pushed me and inspired me to do it. Like whenever we met, we started. I remember just going to your place in Dublin, and we just tried to play jazz. Like we tried to play Take 5. If you couldn't get the fuck from there, and we tried to do different stuff. And then whenever we had like a Guns N' Roses lick down on the mandolin, we'd play that. It was just always just experimenting and messing. Yeah. And it took me all that time to kind of go, okay, I'm gonna do that, but like seriously.
Yeah.
But it's kind of you I have to thank as well for.
Oh man, your progress. I always thought you were heading that way. I never knew where you were going to end up, but I knew you were heading somewhere with it. You were always taking up new projects, and I remember you used to put together the loops and enter them in competitions. You used to put I
used to do a lot
cut up songs. Yeah,
sampling and remixes with Acid Pro. I still use Acid Pro for all my mixing. I still haven't moved.
Oh yeah, little plug there, is it? Acid Pro, was it?
I just got it. 3 months ago, I went on to humblebundle.com, and they had a full version. I've been using a cracked version until about 3 months ago.
Shh.
No, I'm all legal now.
Oh yeah. Too late.
That was good timing there. I took a sip as well, but it was really sort of you that kind of showed me, because it's hard to know when you're playing a traditional instrument, especially when you're stuck in the realm of traditional music, to sort of see where or how versatile a banjo can actually be, or a mandolin, what you can get out of it.
I guess the time you were talking about as well was it was just on the cusp of YouTube coming into effect, wasn't it? Like YouTube.
Yeah, there was no YouTube at all.
So nobody was really doing that, were they? They weren't mashing up, Dr. Dre on a mandolin and stuff.
Yeah, that's what we were up to. Like, and then if there was, we wouldn't have heard of it. So it was really from me hearing you do match it like that, and then kind of going my own way as well. It's interesting. Like how things link up. come back around. But yeah, and yeah, there was no fucking YouTube. Imagine that.
No, I mean it's also new, isn't it? You forget that.
Yeah.
The world pre, and then you had this, you know, the last 10 years, all sorts of fads taken off from YouTube. You know, say half the world plays bluegrass now, or old time American tunes now is the new fad, isn't it? Everyone's playing old time American fiddle and stuff and banjo.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done that 10 years back. You can only do that because you can access tunes so easily on the internet.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And the acceptance of stuff like the banjo is probably more spread as well. Like, you know, it's just people don't cringe as much now when they read the word banjo. That was kind of part of why I wanted to do that. Like, it just challenged myself to actually bring the banjo way, way, way out of its comfort zone. And
yeah, you've done a good. It is way out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love your drum and stuff, man. You've really progressed your drum and stuff on it.
Oh yeah. It's well, there's a lot of just layering and doubling sounds. It's funny because people like on the video. A lot of the videos I only show one track. You know, so for the drum sound, there's actually about 2 or 3 tracks with heavy EQ on it. So I actually just get either high pass or low pass on certain of the tracks, and then all synced up together. So on the visual, you're only getting the visual of one hit of the snare, but it's actually a few different stuff going on there. Maybe I'll do a video explaining how I do all this one day.
That'd be interesting, yeah. I sent you on that collaboration video the other day. You should try something like that.
What was it? Oh yeah, so we actually got into a cool conversation actually as well about licensing, I remember. But the problem with doing full songs covers is that you get flagged, and they get well, either demonetized or like stuff like Metallica or any of the.
Yeah, I think I was requesting you to do Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark.
Yeah,
it'd be a class song to do. It'd be worth being demonetized, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I said about a month of my life, do that and just
7.5 minutes.
Yeah, so it's interesting because YouTube, if you're not with a multi-channel network that supposedly protects you from copyright strikes, YouTube actually has a process where you actually still get some money for the video performance. The original author of the original piece gets royalties for you using their piece, but you get half of that or a percentage of that, whatever revenue from YouTube for just the video performance itself. If you're but if you're with an agency that supposedly protects you from all these copyright stuff, that doesn't happen. It just gets claimed and that's it. Which is begs the question, why are we even with these thieves?
It's a tough world.
I get it though.
You can't even play a Metallica cover, no?
It gets flagged straight away. It's fine. I'm okay with it. I don't mind. That's why I have stuff like Patreon. You know, that's especially if you're an online artist, you want stuff like that. So I don't depend on YouTube money or views or anything like that. There's people who are willing to support the whole process of making these things to start with. I know I've told you should get yourself a YouTube channel and do something like that.
Yeah, I will eventually.
Can you hear me properly, by the way?
I can actually, yeah.
Okay.
No, I will do something like that eventually. I just haven't come up with what I want to do with it, if you get me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also have a 3-year-old, so I'm kind of in a stage in my life where nothing really gets done. When he gets put in school, then we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm surprised you even have the time now to do this, actually, because.
Yeah, no, he's downstairs with them at the moment, so all's good.
He's a wild little.
He's class, yeah, but he respects the office space. He doesn't come up here, so that's good. Yeah.
I was doing one of these with a friend of mine as well in America, and every 30 seconds you see the sun. You remember that YouTube video that went viral with the journalist, and he's got his 2 kids come in, and there was a moment very much like that actually in there. Like,
yeah.
It's very funny. Love you, John. But it's I don't have kids, so I can only imagine how time consuming it is. And you probably just, when you come back from a gig, you probably just want to spend time with your kid. And
Yes, but it's fun, man. It's fun. It's you actually get to live your childhood again to a certain degree. I mean, you and I haven't really progressed much from our childhood in many respects, but now I'm able to regress right back to, I don't know, like preteen stuff. You know, I'm at the 3, 4, 5-year-old level now with him.
Oh wow!
Which is just really good fun. You know, we're buying little Lego sets together and put them together, and you know, everything's just so new and fun, and yeah, it's just happy times, you know.
So do you?
It'll only last, It'll only last a few years, and he'd be sticking his 2 fingers up me and calling me whatever on the street, you know.
I was gonna say it's a shame it stops until, you know, when they're in their teen, because you'd love to be able to watch porn with your kid when they're 18, you know.
Why wait till 18?
But yeah, I suppose the last thing you want to do really is play more music when you come back from 3-4 days of gigging.
Do you know what? I'm actually, I kind of hit a rush when I was at Rack House. I was doing so much of repetitive stuff there that I felt less inclined to go home and say learn a new fiddle tune or work on stuff or towards the end of the band. You know, I had lots of energy towards the start, towards the end of the project.
You're writing songs and all.
Yeah. But then it becomes more of a chore when you have to do it because, you know, you've got deadlines as opposed to you're doing it because it's fun or whatever, or you're enjoying it. So I kind of burnt out a bit with Rack House on that side of it. Yeah. But say since Christmas now, the last 6 months, I've been taking the fiddle out every other day and playing tunes, learning new tunes, and then going to sessions midweek, which is, it's been a while since I've been not doing that. So this has been, you know, it's been a new kind of renaissance in my fiddle playing.
Nice.
Which I'm enjoying, yeah.
You know, I've been, one of the last videos I did recently was actually an Irish tune. And I realized how much demand there was for stuff like that, actually, from people who don't necessarily know Irish music to start with. Like, it was just the whistle and a guitar and the baron. But like the response, I didn't expect the response to be that good on the channel. Like from people who just like video game music, you know, to actually enjoy a traditional piece like that was actually just really, really cool to see. Really encouraging as well. Like, and I think, I do think there's a place for an Irish channel of sort, like a virtual session or, you know, something.
Oh, like that. That'd be cool. Yeah. I think there was something like that spoken about, wasn't there? The session.
We did mention it, yeah.
But there was someone else actually set one up, like an online session that for Americans or, you know, everyone around the world could. I think they even tried to monetize it and put really? Like entry fees or subscriptions on it. Yeah,
that's the problem. People get greedy then. Yeah. So the thing with YouTube, and that's why I think a lot of traditional, and when I say traditional musicians, I mean touring.
Should I close this curtain here? I feel like I'm drowning out in the light.
Doesn't bother me.
No.
Right. You don't want it too dark either. But I feel like because a lot of touring musicians actually know the value of a gig, they're probably not as willing to put the time and effort to do stuff on YouTube that isn't going to pay you straight away. Like, you're not going to make fuck all for the first year, probably, you know, more than likely, or 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's only now, like, I've done this for 4 years, it's only now that I'm actually making better money than if I was gigging, you know, in sessions or, you know, part-time, like, you know, but
you don't even know how to make money out of it to begin with, do you? It's I guess that kind of falls into place after a while. It's almost like a byproduct, isn't it?
There's a learning curve. But now, I mean, so many people doing it. There's advice everywhere, and you can find out pretty quickly. Like between crowdfunding, between the YouTube ad revenue, and then selling your stuff on iTunes and Bandcamp and all these platforms. You can actually get a decent residual income anyway. Like I don't mind saying how much I make on YouTube, like, because a lot of people are afraid of saying it, but like all in all, between all the music, crowdfunding, and the paintings, I have to do a couple of paintings a month, but it's probably I don't know, probably €500 a month extra.
That's good, isn't it? Yeah,
it's not a living wage, but I'm not doing this full time either.
It's a holiday savings, or it's a rainy day fund, or whatever. Yeah.
It's yeah. So it's new instruments. I just bought a concertina the other day. It's
Lovely.
I've an accordion. Like I just buy new instruments almost every month now because
Yeah.
it just I put it back into the channel. But it's not negligible. And then if you get to do that full time, I mean, you could easily make a living. It's a bit of work and it takes time. It's not overnight. But as a complement to being a touring or a gigging musician, I think it's a...
Yeah, yes, it's a good... I've got some ideas, I think, coming about. I kind of wanted to be more established musician in my own right.
Yeah.
If you get me, before I started something, I guess. Like you say, there's so many out there doing niches, and like fiddle is just another niche, isn't it? And there's a lot of people doing it already, and I guess online lessons and tutorials and stuff is the obvious, isn't it?
That's true. It's a great platform to experiment with new stuff. So because it frees you from your gigging stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, just put that and do that anyway, and being a live musician. But then you can just take YouTube as an opportunity to experiment and find an audience there. You know.
Yeah. Oh, you're inspiring me, man. You got me thinking now.
I think you should, because I mean, you're a great singer. You're a very talented musician, and I'd love to see you on YouTube actually, and see what you come up with, because you have crazy ideas, like musically, like.
Yeah, thank you. I hope that's a compliment.
You have very good ideas musically,
Cool.
I know.
I'll give it some thought, man. I'll give it some thought. So there's a friend of mine, a neighbour up the road, and he plays accordion, and we do some sessions together, and he's been talking to me lately about doing an album. So we've kind of committed to doing maybe a traditional Irish a folk album with songs and tunes, and we've committed to doing that over the next 12 months. So maybe I could tie in some online stuff with that. Would be an idea.
Whatever, if you want to, I'll help you plug your stuff.
Cool.
I'll promote but because I'd love more people to hear what you do as well. Like, it's not just drunk people in pubs.
No, it's I still have the energy and the interest to put myself out there, so I think I should.
Am I seeing white beard?
Yeah, I know, man. You're way ahead of me though, aren't you?
You know, when I look at the old YouTube videos, that was all black. It actually was. In 4 years, it just went poof.
That's the French genes, isn't it? That's your French sailor genes there.
Yeah, that's French for it shot out. But
it suits you though. You've got a real rugged look.
I look respectable now.
You do. I trust you. Distinguished.
I know people respect the fuck out of me now.
I'm probably insult you now if I keep talking.
How are you folks? Are they doing okay?
They're doing really well, man. Yeah, they're both finishing up their teaching. My dad's close to retiring this year, so that's a big change for him. But he's got so many hobbies with hill walking and gardening, and he's a real potter. He'll do something. Maybe.
Is the studio still running, or?
It is, yeah. He's still doing the studio. It kind of phased out the session work in the studio in favor of the teaching side of it, which he was doing. So he ran a class out of the studio 5 days a week. He was actually saying to me he's thrown away some old recording gear.
That's what you were saying,
if you want it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I know it's like, it's not ADAT, but it's something similar to that. It's hard drive kind of, all in one kind of, but it's out of date. It's outdated technology.
When you have a studio, you need all the up-to-date shit that people want.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want it or...
Yeah, bring it. Like, if not, I'll find somebody for it anyway.
Yeah.
We're good at that. Yeah, and for online stuff, you don't actually need a lot of gear. Like, it's just because you have all the time.
No, I know, that's it. He's mad for giving me all his old stuff, and I'm like, but I have an app now that does that.
An iPhone. Like when I started the channel, all I was using was a phone for filming and recording. Now, it sounded rough around the edges, but it's like there's so much you can do with a little thing like that. It's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm very fond of your folks. Like when I arrived in Ireland, I'm going to tell you this, but I'm not really telling you. I'm telling people here. But when I arrived in Ireland, so I met you, and then very quickly, I think a weekend or two after we met, like you actually brought me to your folks. Because I think I mentioned something about going surfing, and you were like, "Well, my folks live there, and it's near a place where there's surf." So we ended up going there, and they welcomed me like I was their second son. It was just it was so. I was really taken back, and it was just so amazing.
Cool. They have a lot of love for you, man. They have a lot of love for you.
I'm very fond of it, but to the point that when you went to Tenerife, I kept going to them for the weekend.
Yeah, they were telling me this.
Find myself watching TV or the Late Late Show with them. Just really
on a Friday night, then go surfing on a Saturday.
Yeah, and going surfing. They were so nice and warm and welcoming.
Yeah, I remember yourself and Lowry went up one weekend as well.
We did as well. Yeah, actually, I brought a friend. Yeah. But it's really, and I feel bad. I never
that's the way my parents' house always was. There was always friends calling around, or friends of theirs, friends of mine, or musician friends that were passing through, and there was always people being put up, you know. I
remember great parties, like the going to parties in that area, just seeing all like amazing musicians as well, like
Cryan's pub. Remember Cryan's?
And there was that, and then we went to a few house parties, like in barbecue sessions in summer and that kind of stuff. Like it was just littered with really, really good musicians as well.
Yeah,
where your folks were. It's just I feel bad because I never told them that, but I tell everybody else.
Yeah, no, you should. In fact, we probably should do a trip down to them.
We should probably actually in summer. Yeah,
meet up. Yeah.
I'm actually off on holidays now in 2 days.
Lovely. And you're going home, are you?
Well, I am home here, but
I know, but
I'm going to France. Home. Yeah. Well, I don't have a home there, so I'm going to France, and we're going camping actually. So we'll be camping for about 3 weeks, right on the surf and sand dunes.
Class. Where is that? Is it Biarritz kind of direction, or?
No, it's more Royan, La Rochelle type of area, center, west coast.
La Rochelle. Okay. Yeah. It's not Toulouse. What's the city on the coast? It's down
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux, yeah.
Bordeaux. Yeah, it'll be a good bit north of that, but it's still it's actually a funny area. It's the Charente area. It's actually quite warm. It gets a bit cooler as you go down. Gets warmer again, and then cooler than as you go to Biarritz area, because they get a lot of rain and a lot of clouds.
Is this where the Pinot de Charente comes from?
That's exactly where it comes from.
Aha, my favorite red wine.
Well, that's not a wine you shouldn't be drinking like wine. It's super strong. It's like 30%. We brought some back from my sister and brother-in-law 1 year. We brought them a bottle, and then I think the week after, they said they tried it, and it was like, did you enjoy it? Like, they were like, this is really, it's really nice, and but we had a headache the next day, and we're like, how much of it did you drink? They drank the whole bottle in one night. Like,
it's like a whiskey, really, isn't it? It's a sipping drink.
It's strong and it's super sweet, so you don't realize. It's like you just drank a whole bottle of whiskey between the two of you. It's no wonder you had the headache.
We used to drink it by the bottle, Ollie. I have recollections of us drinking at least 2 bottles on many occasions.
Yeah, I also remember being high as fuck, which is probably why we got all these ideas for Mad Instruments. It was great times, though. I mean, it was really cool. I think we'd found each other in Dublin. Like it was the right time, right place, right time kind of thing. Because we were partying quite a good bit. I remember a few nights to Black
good
Rock.
Times. The really happy times. I remember your flatmate Sean, wasn't it, played the nylon guitar.
Amazing guitar player. I still only looking back every time I talk to somebody that I'd known in Dublin. Like I was very fortunate knowing all these amazing musicians. Ireland is so great and full of amazing musicians. Never ceases to amaze me. And I was really fortunate to be right in the middle of all that as well.
Do you know who's moved up to Sligo? You probably do. George McGranahan is up here now.
Yeah, Jerry. There is another fine banjo player.
Isn't he unbelievable? And a fine man as well.
Yeah, very fun, Jerry. I need to come visit and say hi to you. Well, you're a fan, Jerry, as well.
Yeah, he's really settled into Sligo, so he has.
How's he doing? Yeah.
He's loving it, man. It's his kind of town, you know. It's a bit like Dame Tavern. It's a bit like your session click in Dublin. It's Sligo's just like that, but on a town level, like.
And what's he doing there? Is he working at all, or is he?
He's working. He came for work. He's teaching in the IT. I think he's an engineer teacher or something. Yeah,
he's very good.
Lecturer. Yeah.
But and he's it's amazing. There's another guy I wish he'd record stuff on YouTube as well, because
he's gone mad into
really
old time country, so he has. Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah, he's actually. I don't hear any of the Irish stuff anymore out of him. It's all old time stuff he's playing these days.
He always liked that kind of stuff, but I remember him saying in Dublin he couldn't find a crowd to play with. And interestingly, like Sligo and Leitrim have the I don't know what it is, but there's actually a lot of old time musicians there. Yeah,
and there's some lovely sessions now. There's about 3 sessions. You could go to a Wednesday session, or for a town of 20,000 people, you know, there's more bloody old time sessions than there are post offices in the town, you know.
Yeah, Sligo is a great place for music. People always think of Galway and Connemara like as being a hub of Irish music, but Sligo even more so. Like, I mean,
yeah. Do you know my experience at Galway, and it's not to run it down, but I think it's kind of branded itself so much that it's kind of for the tourists, and you probably couldn't get away without singing certain songs, you know, Wild Rover kind of songs.
They actually got rid of a lot of sessions in Galway, like this Taft's and the Front Door had great sessions when I was younger. Most pubs in Shop Street had amazing sessions, like each and every single one of them. And now it's just Tiki Oli's and that's that, pretty much. Or you have to go outside town, you know, and you'll find session outside town. But you had them anyway back then. Plus, in like genuinely, seriously good sessions in the main street, like not your usual touristy stuff, but actually proper rocking sessions. It's all gone. But
there's so many good musicians in Galway. Like, what do? They must go somewhere. Like you say, it's probably the smaller towns now. It's probably the lesser known pubs.
I'm out of that scene as well, so I don't really seek it. I'm sure there has to be sessions. I mean, you know,
but say in Sligo, it's just all there. You can go walk down the main street in Sligo. There's 3 or 4 different main streets, and there'll be music in every pub, and it's not tailor-made for the tourists. It's just people doing what they do and enjoying themselves, and the tourists love that because they feel like they've discovered something when they walk into it.
And you know that feeling, you're walking down the street and suddenly you hear that fiddle or that accordion in sync, and you're going, oh my god, you open the door and suddenly full session like going on, like you're going, oh my god, what did I step into? You can see as a musician, there's nothing more. Well, it probably is, but it's very, very gratifying when you're playing and you see those incredulous eyes, like tourist eyes, just opening the door and going,
they feel like they've stepped back in time or something.
We just struck gold here, you know, and you're going, it's here.
This is what we do every Monday night.
Every day. There was a stage I was playing every day in sessions. But it's just so, as a musician, it's so nice to see those kind of just faces just going, oh my god.
Yeah, this is what we came to Ireland for, you know.
Yeah, and I feel bad enough for tourists who come to Galway and they don't find that anymore. Like, it's I regularly have people asking me where are the sessions, like we can find them. I'm going, I don't know, I left that scene.
Yeah, you can find woolly jumpers in Galway, can't you? There's lots of woolly jumper shops.
Yeah.
And t-shirts with sheep on them.
It's my mother's favorite shops, actually. She always wants to go indoors, and I die a little inside every time. But anyway, so you're playing now with that singer, and
Lisa McHugh.
And have you any other gigs like outside that? Is that what you do exclusively, or do you need anything else?
No, I do that. I'm tied up to the dates that she gives me. Her manager gives me ahead of time, so they give me like 3 months notice, maybe 4 months notice, and then my diary is my own. I can do what I want with the days that I'm not scheduled to be with them. So it's good. I'm not I can, I can play with anyone I want. Basically, is what they've said to me. Yeah.
Any surfing?
So, I am. Yeah, I'm getting loads of surfing in. I'm doing sessions in town, and I'm doing surfing in the daytime. I was out the other day. I was out yesterday. I got some lovely waves yesterday, actually.
So was I.
Yeah.
It was like judo training was on. I was like, okay, will I get slammed on the mat by grown men or go surfing and enjoy myself?
Yeah.
I'm going surfing.
There was a lovely wave yesterday, wasn't there?
Oh my God, it was just
the swell was beautiful.
I surfed for about 3.5 hours. My arms are in bits, and took so much sun. I got stung by jellyfish so much as well, every hands and feet and my face as well.
But there's none of them here. I haven't seen any of them.
Fuck, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, it was like overhead, just beautiful glassy stuff.
And you were in Fanor, were you? Fanor Beach?
I was in Fanor, yeah. I hadn't been surfing in quite a while. I surfed a couple of weeks back, but I think that was the first time this year I'd surfed. I didn't get a chance to surf much. And then I had put on a good bit of weight recently, so I just pretty much lost it. I lost 2 stones recently, so...
Really?
Yeah, I'm feeling super fit. So I was paddling for about 3.5 hours, just catching every second wave, and...
Yeah.
I was fine. I'm feeling it now today, but it's like just residual kind of pain, but yeah.
And what did you do to lose the weight?
I stopped eating as much.
Yeah, okay.
I stopped
Less cheese.
Yeah, I stopped all sugars and all carbs. Processed. So
yeah, that'll do it. Do it.
Yeah, and I wasn't eating a lot of stuff like that, but I was eating enough that I wasn't able to lose the extra weight. Now, I didn't feel overweight or anything like that, but I was like, what was it, 90, 97, 98 kilos. And I'm back to 84 now. It's actually a bit more than 2 stones.
84, that's about the same as me. I'm about 80.
Yeah, 2 stone. And I'm going to go down, my goal is to get down to 81. So yeah, it just literally, I didn't exercise for the first 2 weeks. I didn't change then after that my exercise routine. I still went to judo, still exercised here, went for walks and runs, but I didn't change anything. I just ate better. And once I kind of kicked the sugar addiction and the carb addiction, I was just eating better anyway. Then
brilliant.
Whenever
good on you, man.
I was just chomping on carbs instead of a cake. And now, I'm like, I don't actually want bread, because I know I feel shit afterwards, and it's just so I don't spike, I don't get, I don't crash. I feel pretty steady and just full of energy now these days. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
Emma's gone. She's trying out gluten-free diet for the moment.
Yeah.
So we've stopped buying all sorts of bread that we would have had, and we're eating proper breakfast and lunches now and stuff, and dinners. Just by default I'm off gluten as well. I didn't intend it, but here I am. And then you don't have I was just topping up on toast, I realized, all the time, and then I'd have obviously salami and cheese and loads of butter. We don't buy half as much butter now just because we don't have toast.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't eat as much. I still eat cheese, but not as much because there's no bread to go with it. So I just have one slice to half a log, and but I still have meat. I have rashers if I want fries, or it's just fried rashers. Potatoes I try to avoid, but if there's a few chips, I'm gonna have a few chips.
Chips are good, man. Chips are important,
so
especially in Ireland.
I don't starve or deprive myself. I actually eat a lot more, I realise, but just better food. 2 stone just dropped since February. It's quite amazing.
Class.
Yeah.
Good on you.
You don't realise you don't realise how much bread you eat until you stop eating it.
Yeah.
The other thing is I was compounding injuries with judo, and I was doing judo and karate, so you get hurt. You move a muscle or something tweaks, and then it just took forever to heal or get back in place. So, because you're dealing with all that inflammation, from the bread or the gluten or the whatever.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I wasn't healing as fast. As soon as I stopped it, 3 days, I had a shoulder injury that I couldn't get rid of. 3 days I stopped being in pain, and in about a week it was just back. It was just not inflamed anymore, so my body was able to deal with the injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just amazing. I sleep better. It's just, yeah.
Brilliant. So you actually consciously gave up gluten for that reason?
I still have wine though. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, you don't realize, even when you think you eat well, you don't realize how much shit you ingest. Fiachra?
Hello.
Yeah, I got you back.
Cool.
Sorry, you might explain why the gap. I'll probably just cut and edit it afterwards. But yeah, we just had a disconnection. But you know what? Actually, that probably wouldn't be a bad place to leave it here. I think that's the internet.
Yeah.
We've been using our quota for way too long. So when
the neighbors just started streaming Netflix next door.
Man, I can stream and watch Nady and have somebody Fiona in the other room do the same stuff. I got 100 meg connection here.
Yeah.
So I am happy out.
Do you want to meet Loca before you go? She just walked in. Say hello to the good people at home, Loca.
Woof.
Le woof.
But dude, that was cool. When are you visiting?
When am I visiting? Well, you're on holidays and you're going to France. So when are you going to France?
Saturday, and then we're back end of June.
Yeah, I'll not get up to you by Saturday.
It's alright. We'll come over. We'll come over to you.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely. When you get back, I'll put it end of June. You're home, so we'll come and see you in July.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah.
So we're due a visit anyway. Last time I went over to you. Actually, folks who watched the other channel, you'd have seen the ZX Spectrum and all the tapes that I got a while back. And this is this came from this fella here, Obi-Wan Cunningham.
Obi-Wan Cunningham.
Dude, that was awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Actually, we should do it again sometime. That was fun.
Definitely, yeah. But get the instruments. Maybe we could have a jam next time.
Absolutely not.
Would that work with a time lag? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that'd be awful.
It could be horrendous. It could be awful, yeah.
Dude, love you, miss you. Folks, thank you for watching, and see ya.